first off, welcome, gentlemen. Thanks very much for coming. We wanted to have you in here to our new studio. We want to look back a little bit, 2016 year in review, a little bit look ahead, talk about some things that we learned out of the most recent election. But maybe let me start with you, Mayor Snedecor. Recap the 2016 year for the city of Hobart. What are you really proud of?
Yeah, it was a lot of infrastructure improvements. You know, with the community crossings, communities receiving that money. We did a lot of road improvements, road paving. We created new bike lanes around our high school and some of our thoroughfares. Yeah, he'll be over there.
Yeah.
And we finished 61st Avenue, which is the final phase of about a $30 million road project that goes into our medical district. Certainly St. Mary's did another $40 million addition to the hospital. So a lot of things are happening. We're getting ready to embark on our downtown, another phase of improvement there, lakefront. So it's been busy from an infrastructure standpoint.
So building on an already good asset to extend it even more.
Yes, yes. And of course the Route 30 corridor with the mall and all the retail, we're doing a transportation study right now, us in Maryville, dealing everything from traffic, vehicular, but also to pedestrian crossings. We've had a lot of near misses of pedestrians trying to cross in the retail corridors. So we're working on that to make it safer.
How about Hammond?
Well, I'm going to remember 2016 for the rest of my life. The Cubs won the World Series. I know Mayor Joe cares about the Cubs like I do. And, you know, obviously 2016 was interesting for political purposes as well, with the presidential election taking place. And my wife Marissa was running in 2016 in the primary and the general for circuit court judge. But in Hammond, it was pretty much a normal year as far as, you know, I've been mayor, this is my 13th year. I'm in my 14th now. And, you know, we have a very detailed plan about when we get revenue, how we split it up amongst the districts and move forward with infrastructure projects. And we're always pushing hard on economic development and job opportunities in Hammond. And I know Mayor Joe and Mayor Snedecor both support the South Shore. I believe that they support also, and that's moving forward. Once it's built, the amount of jobs it's going to create for the construction and the permanent operation and the economic opportunities in that part of our city, which is a very poor part of our city, I think it's going to be a great investment.
You saw a heck of a lot of things happen in 2016, the museum in particular.
Sure. I think we spent most of our year, you know, focusing on tourism in town, and, you know, we kind of elected to pursue a strategy to try to bring people into Whiting from a tourist perspective, or turn this into a destination to try to stabilize the business district. And you know, small towns, it's tough to keep a downtown going, and you need the bodies. And Mascot Hall of Fame goes a long way to doing that. You know, it's a huge endeavor for us. It's you know, $15 or $16 million at the end of the day. And you know, it's anticipated to anchor the entrance to the lakefront park. It just, if the plan goes according to oil, you know, it'll be a big asset for us. You know, and we had a great year with housing too. You know, every available lot that we either acquire or tear down an older home, we have a waiting list right now, dozens of people looking to build new homes. And
that's incredible. I mean, imagine, you know, in any other city, that's just really, really rare.
Well, I mean,
obviously you're a very small geographic area, but just still having every developable lot spoken for is pretty unbelievable.
It's, you know, it's very expensive, right?
Yeah.
You have to go out and acquire a piece of property, tear it down, and then sell it for a fraction of what you paid to get a new home there. But it's great, and it's true redevelopment. You know, we're not blessed with having big open acreage, you know, of farms to be you can develop into new subdivisions. You know, all us inner city, you know, folks with inner city territories you have to get creative. You know, so when you tear down a building, we got people waiting, and hopefully we can keep that momentum going in the coming years.
You know, Mayor Joe said something. He said we invest in properties, and, you know, basically, I always say this, and I found it very interesting coming from Mayor Joe, that if you didn't have the private, you know, if you didn't have government willing to step in and buy a lot and take a loss on that transaction, what's the alternative?
Yeah.
Stare at an old house for decades.
Sure. Yep.
So if it wasn't for Mayor Joe and government stepping up, or, you know, what goes on in Hobart or Hammond, we'd be stale.
What do you think about what you're doing in the sports complex area, or what you've done up by the tollway? I mean, there's an awful lot of that happening.
Sure. you know, our motto is if the market won't take care of it, right, you have to.
Yeah.
The government has to get involved.
Exactly.
And like Mayor Tom said, you know, who's going to spend $50,000 or $60,000 buying and paying off a mortgage to a bank,
Right.
another $15,000 or $18,000 to tear it down, then sell it for $7,000 or $8,000.
Nobody would
Yeah.
do
Right.
that. Right.
So, you know, the market does not allow that to happen. So that's what the redevelopment commissions are born and created to do, and that's what we've been doing. And you know, when you really think about it, if you pick off the worst houses in every neighborhood, in 5 or 6 years, before you know it, there's not a whole lot of bad houses left.
Yep.
It takes time, and it's certainly not a magic wand, but it certainly builds momentum. Now you see other people remodeling their homes. Right, people, you know, I've owned this house for 40 years, and they're totally rehabbing the house because 2 new homes on both sides, or somebody across the street did something. So it's contagious.
Nobody
Well,
wants to
they're-
be the worst home on the block,
That's right.
right?
But they're also realizing like, hey, I could see property values starting to improve if a bunch of these houses, so it's not just, I feel the need to, it's no, actually, I'm gonna be economically benefited by improving my house.